an amazing quarterback to build an organization around, like we have in Justin Herbert.
Oh, dude, he's magic, dude. He's the Magic Herb,
Magic Herb.
He's Magic Herb. That's right.
I mean, weed is legal in California. Is that what we're talking about?
It's legal in most of the states now, baby. That's all I'm saying.
That's very true.
Magic Herb. Oh, somebody needs to make a T-shirt about that.
Yep.
Magic Herb.
Hey, there you go. Copyrighting that phrase right now.
Bolt Bros Magic Herb. We talk about that.
Bolt Bros Magic Herb. That's right.
Welcome, everybody. We're the Bolt Bros. We are actual brothers, and we're all Charger fans. And we just want to engage with the community. We talk about the Bolts every single week as brothers, but we want to engage with the Charger community and have some fun in the process and talk all things Chargers. Bolt Bros!
Bolt Bros!
Bolt Bros!
Let's get into it. First stat we want to talk about is the offense. Season recap is really what we want to do on our inaugural Bolt Bros episode. So, James, why don't you run down some statistics for us and how we did on the offense. We'll move to defense, we'll move to special teams, and then we'll talk about the upcoming news and events for the Chargers on a weekly basis.
Yep, let's do that. I mean, and this offense was.
Oh, I thought we're recording, James. We're recording now, dude.
Oh, my bad. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, James, we're recording right now.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes, let's go. Let's do it. We're doing
it again. Do it again.
No, we're good. Just keep going.
All right, we're going. But
we caught you slipping. That's all we got.
Yeah, I know you did. Yeah, I was slipping. Honestly, we all know what this offense was this year. It was explosive and fun to watch. There's a lot of little nitty gritty things that I think that we could kind of be picky about. I mean, albeit we could talk a little bit about Joe Lombardi and kind of his influence on the offense and kind of what he provided for the offense. And we could jump into that pretty heavily on who he is as a coach and how we felt about his play calling. And even in critical times, I think that's where offensive coordinators make their money is critical time calling, play calling. But let's just kind of go through the rankings more or less of where we're at. So team rankings here, we were yards per game. We were fourth in the league. So 390.2 yards. Pretty phenomenal to kind of think about that. That's fourth in the league for us.
Yeah.
Rush yards per game. Well, we kind of know how our rush game works. It goes through Austin Eckler. We struggle to figure out that second back. And for whatever reason, we can't find that second guy. JJ might have been the guy.
Our second back was Justin Herbert for like most of the year.
Yeah.
Very true. Very true.
RB2, baby. Oh, that's it.
Yep.
QB1, RB2.
Yeah. And to be honest, I think that was not utilized as much, in my opinion. There was only a couple games. I mean, you guys were at the Steelers game. I mean, you can't expect your quarterback to run 90-plus yards every single game or anything like that, but how different that creates that entire offense to have that mobile quarterback. I don't know if Andy, you had something to talk on that.
Yeah, I actually really think bottom line, though, when I think about the offense, Brandon Staley always talks about a complete team. I think we have a complete offense. And our offensive line was extremely better performing this year. I mean, you cannot talk enough about Rashawn Slater getting Filer. I think the right side of the line definitely needs some help in the offseason.
Yeah.
But we have a complete offense. And I guess going into the offseason, I think we need to really focus more on defense and special teams, especially with the news from this week as well, too. Right. But if you think about it across the board, we got a stud quarterback. And we got, all the right pieces on the offensive side of this thing. It needs to come together a little bit more on the defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And even to say that too, I mean, let's go just and talk about the pass game on this too. We're 282 yards per game, second in the league. So second in league in pass, 21st in rush. If we could balance out that rush just a little bit more, get that second defined back for us, I think it'll open everything up. And to go right to your point, Andy, the right side of the line was our issue. I mean, even if we go back to that last game versus the Raiders and seeing Storm Norton just getting destroyed by Max Crosby, I mean,
Crosby was crushing him. Yep.
Yeah.
it was crazy.
All day long. I think.
All day long.
Do you have the stat
he-
of how many hurried passes we had because of that at all, or?
Oh, I think it was like
I don't
6 or
know.
7 at least.
Yeah.
And think about that last drive too.
Yeah.
You know, where we converted 6 fourth downs. That was all Justin Herbert.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
and don't get me
100%.
wrong. The line did okay on the left side. The right side struggled the entire time. Crosby had a game, and he played great even against the Bengals just yesterday, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's. I think there's a few gaps on our offensive line for sure. What an amazing quarterback to build an organization around, like we have in Justin Herbert.
Oh, dude, he's magic, dude. He's the Magic Herb, you know.
Magic Herb.
He's Magic Herb. That's right.
I mean, weed is legal in California. Is that what we're talking about?
It's legal in most of the states now, baby. That's all I'm saying.
That's very true.
Magic Herb. Oh, somebody needs to make a T-shirt about that.
Yep.
You know, the
Magic Herb.
Hey, there you go. Copywriting that phrase
Copyright.
right now.
Bull Bros Magic Herb. We talk about that.
Bull Bros Magic Herb. That's right.
Well, you know, and the thing is, though, our offense was phenomenal to watch, you know, and there was a lot of times, and I was actually talking a little bit this morning about just the amount of drop passes that we've had that are catchable passes.
Yep.
How many times in every game this season where we've seen a couple passes where like, man, right on the numbers, totally catchable passes, critical catches like the Justin Cook catch during the Chiefs, basically on the goal line where he dropped that pass that could have been a walk-in touchdown. You know, there's a lot of focus that needs to be placed on that this off season.
Yeah.
And I think it was like 33 drop catches for us to put us at number 1 in the league in drop passes.
Number 1 in the league. Wow. And you know, the one that really kind of broke my heart because one of our better players got hurt too was Parham. When he caught that pass, hit the ground, and he was out the rest of the season. You know, I really felt like that was a big blow to our offense in general. He was such a great weapon.
Yeah.
I mean, I would argue he definitely was better statistically than Cook for most of the season. But at the end of the day, that was huge. And I kind of felt like it sort of deflated the offense as a whole to see our, you know.
Yeah, for that game, you know, like that was a huge morale detriment. Like, you know, for that, at least like 2 drives after that, like people morale was like really low on that one. So, I mean, I don't know, but I would say though too is like I feel like Parham was great and like he had some really clutch catches, but I think Jared Cook actually still had better like key plays over Parham still. Yeah. But
But we kind of had a tight end by committee situation. So I mean, we had Anderson also in there. We had obviously Parham in there. We had Jared Cook in there. You know, even later in the season, McKitty got involved too. And I think that was kind of the strategy going into this year when we got rid of Hunter Henry. I think it became a committee situation at that point. And you know, I think that Parham is a I mean, obviously he's a gargantuan individual. Fantastic
to say the least. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, he's massive. And at the tight end position like that, you got a 5'10", 6-foot cornerback trying to cover this dude that's huge. I mean, that's a matchup nightmare in the end zone. I mean,
for sure.
Even the year before, he was even getting a lot of red zone targets just for a sheer size. And so I think will be, and hopefully, and I really hope that he recovers from the concussion because that was a scary situation to see.
Oh, it was. Absolutely.
But it'll be phenomenal to see him kind of go into this new year, and I hope that he's going to be healthy and ready to go for the new year. And I think he'll be a great target for us going into next season. And to be honest, he could be our one, even just mixing it with McKitty. So he might be that McKitty and Parham tight end position.
Well, see, that's the thing too, because I don't think we're going to keep Jared Cook for next year. Because we only signed him for 1 year contract. So like, I think Parham, like when gets healthy, he's going to be our number 1 tight end, I believe. And McKitty could be the number 2 easily.
And McKitty really is more of like a blocking tight end as well too, right?
Right.
That's really why he was drafted.
So,
Yeah, I think yeah, I mean, it really interesting. It's interesting to see how the offense came together this year. I think that was definitely our bright spot, and that's what kept us in games. And to me, and everyone criticizes Brandon Staley about going forward on fourth down. It was very clear he realized his best card he could play was keeping Justin Herbert on the field. So his view was like, no, we just need to keep going. We know we got gaps on the defense, and we know our special teams ain't great either. So what's going to give us the best options to win and just keep Justin Herbert on the field? Things happen.
I agree. You know, your best defense is sometimes your offense, and our best player is Justin Herbert. And you know, I mean, criticize him, and you and I, we all have basically said that was a terrible decision to go for it on fourth down. You know, that's, you know, and he'll basically knock it down with so many different statistics and everything like that. Yeah, I'm kind of a fan of that. I mean, I'm not playing Madden football or anything like that, because this is real NFL football, but that's what everybody does on Madden, and he was essentially playing that, but with some stats to back it up and making those decisions. And
I know. I mean, they got way more stats than we do, like about all, like, you know, what their third, fourth down percentage are, like in completion,
analytics.
That analytics, like, are so much more in depth than what we actually have access to. So like, I mean,
for sure,
I feel like, you know, like they have more confidence in making those decisions for fourth down for sure. I still just wish that he would be a little bit more conservative with just once or twice, you know.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah, agreed. And you know, we could break those down on every single level of when he did it. And I mean, even to say the Raiders game, I mean, Andy and I, we talked a lot about, actually I should say Andy and Kyle, we talked a lot about that one going it on fourth down when we were on our own 20 or whatnot. Like, that's kind of an odd choice and an odd timing. And I mean, I guess my thing, why you would make a choice to go for it on a fourth down situation is, I view momentum as a big key indicator. And I don't feel like we had that much momentum. Maybe, once again, if they did convert that, that might have changed momentum and made the offense kind of start working. Now, play calling, once again, going back to Joe Lombardi, I think the previous play to that was a third down, basically run up the gut, didn't get anywhere. What did they do for the fourth down? Run up the gut again, didn't get anywhere. Same result. So,
and an ex-Charger Phylon blew that play up both times, if you recall. You know, it was amazing. It was amazing. You know, the one thing I will say is this too, that I know what he said. Brandon Staley said, I wanted to spark the offense. My argument has always been, is that really the right time to spark your offense on your own 20-yard line, and then you run the same place twice in a row? That is the ballsiest decision I ever in the NFL I've ever seen. And I would just argue that's the wrong time to do it. That was my ultimate criticism on it.
100% understand that, and it makes a lot of sense too. And that's the thing. Going back to when we were talking about, say, our RB2 is Justin Herbert. I feel like if you want to make a decision like that, don't just run it up the gut. I feel like it gives me a little bit of shades of being back with Anthony Lynn, because he would loved running up the gut all the time. I swear, every first down, up the gut, up the gut, up the gut.
Power. Power. Halfback dive, power.
We don't have that guy. I mean, and I'm not saying Austin Eckler's not like a power back. He's more of a scat back, in my opinion.
For sure.
A versatile type of guy. He's not a Marshawn Lynch. He's not a Henry, a Derrick Henry kind of guy. Like, he's not those guys. And so doing that is a very odd choice of just saying, hey, Eckler, go ahead and run right in the middle of this stacked box defense right now and give me a couple yards so we could get this fourth down converted. Just odd play calling, you know.
It is.
I would roll out Herbert and make him try to either, one, run the ball, get you a couple of yards. I mean, once again, Justin Herbert's a massive dude, got speed. He could make that happen. Fake the handoff, roll out. If you want to throw out a couple of receivers just as an option, go ahead.
But RPO.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's a very, very odd play calling for that. Either which way, we could dissect that all day. And it is what it is.
Well, actually, why don't we do this? Why don't we give us a ranking of what we thought for the Chargers, like our own personal rankings? I will say the Chargers an A-. I think they were good offensively, but we struggled at times. There was a few picks that we had, and some of the play calling was a little bad. So I give it an A-. What would you give it there, Kyle and James?
Well, so I would say going back into the Justin Herbert and rushing and stuff like that. I feel like there should have been more plays designed where they would have just kind of felt it out and been like, okay, cool. Like, I mean, they're gonna anticipating Eckler to run it, so like let's just fake him out and then have what's his name Herbert run it. So that way, like it's a lot more optional plays. Like I don't really see Herbert playing too much of like kind of shifting the plays at all. Like it seems like he pretty much just sticks to what they called.
Yep.
So I think that needs to be a little bit more something. But then overall, I would actually put ourselves a solid B for the year and on offense.
On the offense.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like we did really well. And I think actually one of the stats was that this year we did like 29.7 points per game on average or something like that, which is like in the top 5, I think, for the year. But then when we go into the defense, we'll find that our defense gave up 29 points. So it's like
exactly right,
barely winning each time. So realistically, I just feel like we hit a solid B. It was better than satisfactory, and better than most, but just not quite good enough.
Yep.
And I was going to just break down a couple stats on the offense. I mean, we were 45% on third downs. The opposition was about 49% on us. I mean, that's not a major difference, but that 4% makes a difference.
Yeah, that's huge.
Criticizing the fourth down calls was one thing too here. And, we had 34 attempts on fourth downs this year. In comparison to the opposition against us was about 22 times. And I'd probably say a lot of those were probably against the Chiefs or whatnot, or basically us just putting pressure on them to make a choice at a critical time or to play our game.
Yeah.
And I think that, and actually our percentage for completion on fourth downs was 64%. Wow. And the opposition was only 31%.
Wow.
That's
interesting.
Pretty phenomenal to look at that.
That's a huge stat, actually.
That's a massive, massive stat to look at. So, and I don't know what it is, and I'm kind of really just basing on teams that are playing against us and what their stats are against us and what our stats against them. Mm-hmm. And that's a pretty good indicator that we're trying to build and to basically play our game. Once again, going back, our best defense is our offense in this situation.
Yeah,
we have a very, very strong offense. Our line is very good. We got good receivers. Tight end is a very tight end by committee. Our running back, Austin Eckler, 20 total touchdowns this year. Phenomenal game. I mean, he won me a fantasy league, basically. I mean, he's a phenomenal back.
Not cool, bro.
Exactly. Take that, dude.
Not cool.
ASAP squad, dude. What up? But
well, give us a ranking. Give us a ranking, James.
Oh, for your
ranking
your
personally, grade. I'm gonna say B. I'll say B because my thing is the play calling at the critical times. I feel like there was a lot of iffiness on that, and I think need to utilize a little bit more players at the right time and understand each player's strengths for that call, that play call. So I really am going to say B. And just to give you in the update recently, Joe Lombardi did interview for a head coaching with the Texans.
Yep.
Now, we could even talk about that of, is that going to be a harmful thing for us or is that going to be a helpful thing for us? I mean, I think I was kind of thinking about this in the morning that the Rams do have a lot of people kind of in and out of that system, offensively, defensively. Yeah. And it still seems like it's the same result every single year.
Right.
If Brandon Staley has created a system on an offense and in defense, it's not going to matter who comes in. It's just about those times and making those critical calls.
Yeah.
And so
right.
I think that I'll give it a B. And if Joe Lombardi moves on, I think that couldn't be a bad situation. Now it's just making Herbert learn a third season in the third season for him, and 3 times in a row. Even to say going back to Oregon, there was even a lot of system changes for him too.
True.
But hey, I think he made Anthony Lynn look better as a coach last year.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, I think he made Joe Lombardi look better as a coach. I mean, 5,014 yards passing for Justin Herbert, over 40 plus yards total, touchdowns total. I mean, he's phenomenal as a player. He will make offensive coordinators look better than they are. And but I'm sticking to a B for the offense.
Guys, thanks for coming out. Thanks for watching the video all the way till the end. Bolt Bros.
Bolt Bros.
Woo! Bolt Bros.
See you, boys.